I bid you welcome.
After 4 days of just crap sequels, I have stumbled upon the oasis that is Blade 2. Bless Guillermo del Toro, he is saving me right now. Blade 2 is the sequel to the original Blade, which was released in 1998. That movie was way ahead of its time, especially considering that in 1997, we got for comic book movies Spawn and Batman and Robin.
This hurts! Nothing to see here, please!
Blade proved that while the movie is not perfect, it was just awesome. Like, comic book movies can be awesome again. And again, it was definitely ahead of its time because it was rated R. And nowadays, that would almost never happen unless there was a prestige director behind it or a certain subject material that just pretty much required an R rating. So when Blade 2 came out, and it was directed by Guillermo del Toro, I wonder what that guy's been up to lately, I was very excited to check it out because I had never seen it. And yeah, I think I actually like this one better than the first. The movie basically sees Blade, after finding his mentor Whistler, played by Chris Christopherson, forming an alliance with the vampires in order to stop the Reapers, basically vampires on steroids. When doing research for this video, I was checking the release date, and I said to myself, oh, 2002. That makes all the sense in the world, because this movie is such an early 2000s movie, it's crazy to really think about. But I mean that as a compliment, because this movie is so cool, and it's so cool as a bit of a time capsule that 20 years after its release, just watching it go, wow, that's what they were able to do in the early 2000s. That's crazy. Everybody wears black in this movie. Everybody wears sunglasses in the pitch black of night. I mean, I'm pretty sure The Matrix did that first, but that was the byproduct of that, for lack of a better word. Badass fight sequences were done to nu metal. Take me back. Wesley Snipes is, of course, fantastic as Blade. I have all the respect in the world for Mahershala Ali, and while we actually have not seen any footage of him as Blade, he made a brief off-screen cameo in Eternals, but we haven't seen him on screen yet. Wesley Snipes will always be Blade, at least for right now. Chris Christopherson is a lot of fun as the bitter Whistler. Seeing a young Norman Reedus, like pre-Walking Dead Norman Reedus as Scud, was just crazy to me, because I haven't seen a ton of The Walking Dead, but I know what Norman Reedus looks like, and that dude must be hiding the Fountain of Youth, because he looked pretty much the same, minus some facial hair. Also, and I don't know if anyone else picked up on this, but Norman Reedus' character Scud, throughout the whole movie, is wearing a BPRD t-shirt, the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense, aka the main agency in the Hellboy series. Hellboy would be released in 2004 and would be directed by Guillermo del Toro. Coincidence? I don't think so. The fight sequences are, of course, a lot of fun. I don't think there is a one-liner in this movie as iconic as some MFers are always trying to ice skate uphill, but there is definitely a lot of fun lines from Blade, and while there is some really bad CGI, like seriously, the CGI is pretty bad in this. The practical effects are what you should go into this movie for, because they are outstanding. It's Guillermo del Toro, so of course. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't know if I would consider this a hidden gem. I would consider it a hidden gem in the comic book movie world, but if you have not seen Blade 2 in a minute, go do yourself a favor and check it out, because it is better than you remember.